Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're diving into a problem that is a real headache for pretty much any service business owner, the after-hours phone call. We're going to look at an AI tool built for plumbers that says it can turn those missed calls from lost money into booked jobs.
So let's just start with the big question. If you run a plumbing company, or really any service business, what is the actual price tag on not picking up the phone just one time, especially after hours? Is it just a small thing, or is it something a lot bigger?
Well, in some cases, it can be as high as $5,000. Seriously. And that's not an exaggeration. That's the potential value of a single emergency job, like a massive pipe burst. That's just gone, all because you couldn't get to the phone right at that moment.
And look, this isn't about some one-in-a-million catastrophe. This is about a constant, quiet leak of cash that a lot of businesses don't even realize is happening week after week. So why? Why is the cost so incredibly high?
It all comes down to your customer's mindset. I mean, think about it. Somebody has water pouring into their kitchen at 2 in the morning. They are in full-on panic mode. They are not going to calmly wait for you to call them back. Nope. They're on Google, frantically dialing the very next plumber on the list who actually picks up the phone.
And this chart, wow, this really shows you the scale of the issue. The data suggests that service businesses can lose up to 60% of their potential leads just because they don't have a way to answer the phone 24/7. That is more than half of your potential new customers just vanishing because no one was there to say hello. Now, you might be thinking, but wait a minute, I've got voicemail. Well, the thing is, in today's world, especially when things are urgent, voicemail is basically dead. And this leads to this phenomenon we can call voicemail ghosting.
And voicemail ghosting is exactly what it sounds like. A customer in a panic hears your pre-recorded voice, hangs up before the beep, and immediately calls your competitor. To you, they never even existed. They're a ghost, a lost lead you didn't even know you had a shot at.
What's so interesting here is the total disconnect it shows. While your potential customer is already on the phone solving their problem with someone else, all your business sees is a blinking light on the phone the next morning. By then, that lead isn't just cold, it's ancient history.
So, if voicemail is the problem, what's the fix? Well, this is where the technology comes into play. But try not to think of it as a machine. Think of it more like a new kind of employee, a digital receptionist.
And this is really the most important point. This is not just a fancier answering machine. It's a system that's designed to actually interact. It can understand what a person is saying, it can respond in a smart way, and its entire job is to turn that panic caller into a confirmed booked appointment on your calendar.
And it does all this through a few key functions. It captures the lead right away, it figures out if it's a real emergency or not, it can automatically put the customer's info into your system, and it syncs with your calendar in real time. We'll break down exactly how that works.
So, how does this digital employee actually do its job? Let's walk through how it actually works to stop a customer from dialing your competitor and instead books them right then and there with you. The process is actually pretty simple, but really effective. First, it answers the phone immediately, and that simple act stops the caller from moving on to the next name on their list. Second, it asks some smart, qualifying questions to get a handle on the situation. And third, based on those answers, it books an appointment directly into an open slot in your schedule. Job done. Okay, this is probably the biggest question you have, right? It's one thing to book a leaky faucet for Tuesday afternoon, but can an AI really handle a true, high-stakes, water-everywhere emergency?
The answer is all in what's called smart triage. See, the system is programmed to follow your rules. If the caller says leaky faucet, it books a normal, non-urgent slot. But, and this is key, if it hears words like flood, burst pipe, or sewer backup, it knows. It can instantly forward that live call directly to the cell phone of whoever is on call. It can tell the difference.
All right, here's another big practical question. What happens during a storm or a deep freeze when you suddenly get a flood of calls all at once? A human can only handle one call at a time.
Well, the digital receptionist answers all of them at the same time. No caller ever gets a busy signal or gets put on hold. During those critical peak moments when you stand to gain the most business, this makes sure you capture every single opportunity. So we've seen how it all works. But now let's get to the most important part for any business owner, the bottom line. How does all this translate from just catching calls into actual cash flow? Okay, let's just look at some simple math. If your average job is worth, say, $300, and you miss just 4 calls a week, that's it, just 4, you're looking at a loss of $1,200 a week. That adds up to nearly $5,000 every single month. This table makes that hidden cost really, really clear.
And that's why this quote is so powerful. This system doesn't need to be some massive overnight game changer. The return on your investment can happen by capturing just one single job that would have been lost to a competitor. One job, and it's basically paid for itself for the month.
And what's really fascinating is the price point. We're not talking about the salary of a full-time employee here. This kind of 24/7 coverage can often be had for less than $20 a day. And it's usually a flat rate. No per-minute charges, no overtime fees, just a predictable, consistent cost.
So we'll just end on this thought. When you actually calculate the lost revenue from every call it doesn't answer and every single job it lets slip away to your competition, you've got to ask yourself, could your voicemail, the very thing you thought was helping you, actually be your most expensive and least effective employee?